Raps, baby. How y'all doing today? We back at it. Just trying to stay committed like we promised. Cuz, how you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm making it happen, Doc. Good to be here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we're gonna
Get it.
revisit this Hutch.
Cal and Dave Jones are the hosts of the show. We living in some difficult times, as most of us know. Let's lift each other up and put down the stress. If you didn't know, the name of the show is called Raps.
All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right.
Yes, sir, man. What we into today, Doc?
We're gonna revisit this Hutch story, man. There's a lot of craziness that came out behind this. So, play a little snippet of what they showed on the news.
Yes, sir.
We're learning a theory as to motive here. Sources telling Fox 2 that a local attorney is the mastermind behind it all. Back in the spring, he allegedly wrote up a will for Daniel Hutchinson, putting himself in that will, and that's where the murder for hire plot started. This is the trio facing charges in a murder for hire plot to kill well-known jeweler with a celebrity client list, Daniel Hutchinson. We are learning it could go much deeper. And a person of interest, a local attorney, is likely the mastermind behind it all. We cannot name him because he's not been charged yet. Several corroborating sources tell Fox 2, like so many crimes similar to this, it traces back to money.
Yes, sir. Is that enough, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Well, man, this bothers me every time I think about this guy or see this story, man. I'm just glad they finally getting some understanding as to what's going on. What baffles me a little bit about this whole story is that they let this story out without picking this guy up first. This guy's still out here. So that's kind of that's kind of weird to me that they got all this evidence to prove that this guy was behind this, and they didn't grab him before they let the story out. But
Right. At least as a person of interest, the whole story get out and they ain't even go ahead and pick, almost like give him a head start or something. That's
right. Like what y'all trying to do? Let this guy flee the country, but I'm sure
Right.
they got eyes on him.
Right.
But that just caught me off guard. If it was one of us, they'd have had our ass, man, shackled up, dog hog tied, and
right.
somewhere in somebody's cage. But yeah, man, So yeah, the reason I wanted to touch back on this today, man, is because, I was just, all the theories that was out there, they say, he was selling fake jewelry. He was snitching. It was the pandemic money and this. So my point of touching back on this today is basically, allowing people to see that sometimes, in situations like this, we need to just like pray for the family, pray for the friends, pray for the kids, pray for the wife, pray for the co-workers. He had a lot of co-workers, that worked along with him on his team, I would like to call it, because he didn't come off as a guy that would try to run his business like a boss. He kind of ran it like a team, family membership type of situation. So, I'm just glad, you see so many cases, man, where good guys like this get killed, especially black guys, man. And then it's just swept under the rug. Like it's not a big deal. It don't matter. I'm just glad that they didn't just drop the ball on this case. I'm glad some things came out to be able to get a family some sense of peace and some sense of understanding, because the worst thing you could do is think about somebody you loved or somebody that you felt like was so good to people and just be totally baffled as to why something like this would happen, And then you think, man, when you just to go a little deeper, man, that's why a lot of guys, man, really feel like these attorneys is like legal criminals. It's like on one hand, you want to depend on these guys, especially if you're coming up against a lawsuit, a custody battle, you fighting a case, you dealing with anything, concerning the lawyer, you will hope that you're giving this person this money and they taking these cases on and dealing with them as if they was fighting for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But in this case, here it is. He didn't pay this man to write his death certificate, pretty much.
Wow.
And that's pretty sickening and deep. You know what I'm saying? I often said that about my brother. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, you know what I'm saying? You went in there and gave yourself a life sentence. You know what I'm saying? But this guy paid this guy because he got to a place in his life where he felt like it was time to dot all his I's and cross all his T's and get to a point where he had all his affairs in order. And here comes somebody that's supposed to be doing you right and looking over your best interests,
right,
that's looking out for their interests, that actually hired somebody to take you out and put themselves in their will and put themselves in your will with intentions to come back and kill your wife too.
Wow.
That is sickening, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great points that you jumped on here, and our assignment is to help us to really respond as we should. And I don't want to lose sight of it. But I think one of the things that you brought up with is sometimes when we see things that happen, and it's easy to come up with our own conclusions as to what actually is taking place and make immature, premature conclusions about what's actually happened, and then therefore criticize and critique accordingly. And I think that's the biggest key on here, because we never know what actually happened in anybody's situation in life. And I think that's a point that you wanted to bring across. So I wanted you to speak on that a little more.
Yeah. What point you say about? I kind of zoned out, man.
Yeah, no problem. Just we in positions that where things happen in life, and we can assess, like in this case, that, well, this is what's actually the result. This is what happened in this particular case. And we make premature assessments and conclusions, and then we start giving our opinions about a situation. And
right. Okay, yeah, I got you. I appreciate that, getting me back on track, man. And that's good, man, because that's one of the biggest reasons I think we came together and decided we wanted to start doing this raps, willingly responding as people should, to just, hold each other accountable, build a platform where we could kick it about things, because sometimes when we in situations where we don't have the right people around us to keep us straight or to hold us accountable and tell us what's real, because we looking for people to agree with our mess, or like I say, finance our foolishness, you know what I'm saying? Or just, agree with us on BS, then we tend to, not be held accountable for things and think that the stuff we doing is right when we totally wrong. So, willingly responding as people should, this is a platform where we allowed to just kick it, engage with our audience. We talk, keep each other head straight and just try to rationalize, really looking at things that ain't right, and help people to see, how they should view things, and in a lot of cases letting them tell us, and as a conversation platform as to what they could tell us that we may could do better, or what we ain't doing right, or how we may be viewing things. Because a lot of people, they kick it with us on here, and they give us their opinion. They drop a lot of valid opinions. So I think that like a situation like this, when we all thought, and I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When they blurred his face out, then they put his face out there on I actually got to see this guy. I was hoping and praying to God this wasn't no black attorney, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of knew he wasn't, but I was just praying, like, man, we already get a bad stigma, and Hutch was one of them guys, man. I ain't seen nothing racist about him, like I said before. So it could have been a chance that it was a black attorney, So I was just like, man, I just hope this ain't no greedy, foolish, situation that one of us did, So that kind of, I ain't gonna say it made me happy, but it put me in a sense of relief,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, 100%. I think these situations right here, it helps us to assess our own thoughts and our desire to, like you say, get involved with what's going on outside of us. And to be honest with you, man, even though this is a case that I know that's connected to a lot of people who have a relationship with him, and the way that it was portrayed, it potentially could have had you, second guessing the authenticity of him and his family, and talking about him as opposed to praying for him, speaking goodwill to him, because they're going through a very traumatic time in life. It just makes sense for us to sometimes to stay focused on our business if there's nothing else nice that we can say, or anything good that we can say about it. Because so many of us could be wrong, looking for ways to dump off our anger, our emotions, thinking about somebody else's situation, when to distract us from what are the things that we need to build within our own life. You follow what I'm saying?
Right. And yeah, and that ultimately, man, and that's real because, you know, in a lot of cases, man, and this gonna sound a little strange, but it may not to a lot of people because you know we all have our own personal thoughts. We all have our own personal encounters and experiences and things we feel, and that's, you know, that's the Holy Spirit. That's the God in you because a lot of situations we go through life ain't just hard times. It's to prepare us for things to come. So that when you come up against certain things, you got so much experience. That's what they say with age come wisdom. You got so much experience with things, you can almost decipher right through some stuff within 5 seconds of dealing with it. Cause you're like, oh, your spirit then felt this before. You know what I'm saying? So in a lot of cases, man, people, you know, they take situations like this and they go off the edge and they think the negative because it's like in your mind, it's something in your spirit that you're not happy with, or something in your life that you
Yeah.
already have a low-key jealousy, or you feel like, oh man, he getting all the money from our people, whatever, you know, these weird feelings people be having to make them feel like they jealous or they haters, or they can just come out with the most unrational negative stuff to say, man. You know, it leads to an empty, unhappy place in your life that would make you think so negative or weird. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's jealousy, whereas, you know what I'm saying, you ain't happy where you at. You wish you could be doing something different to make yourself be more prosperous or whatever the case may be. But I think that if more people focus on just becoming the best version of themselves, then it wouldn't be so much negativity out in the community where the first thought you get when somebody get shot or killed or something crazy happened is, oh, it was bad karma. They did something foul. They had
Right.
it coming. It was linked to something dirty they did. Everybody ain't out here living dirty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like at some point, it's just like sometimes you got to sit back and you got to just say, wow, I can't believe that. Why would, you know what I'm saying? Even if you ain't got nothing good to say, you ain't got to have nothing bad to say. It could just be a simple, dang, I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
just go off so negative, man, that, you know, that's just something we need to stop, man. Just like when cats get arrested, you know what I'm saying, or they get in trouble out here, first thing somebody want to say when they see them back out here is that they snitching. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, all this stuff need to stop, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll never know when you're gonna get that knock at your door.
Right, right. I'm sad, glad. I mean, glad we're so here in this pocket right now of the ability to respond, or a responsibility about situations that other people go through. I'm gonna kind of step back, and the way I've been receiving my frame of mind and focus here recently.
Mhm.
There's three areas of things that you can talk about, right? And this, either you're going to talk about people, you're going to talk about events, or you're going to talk about ideas. And all of us talk about some of them to some degree. But the people who are focused on only talking about other people, what they did, what they didn't do, what they should do, critiquing, criticizing, et cetera, are those of us who may be stuck, depressed, and really don't like ourselves.
Mhm.
You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a higher level where you're talking about events, things that happening, things that you may can be a part of and maybe learn from. Events, they're a little more focused on being the better version of themselves. And then, but they're still in the middle. You got to get to a point that we're not distracted with other people as much as we are attracted to the ideas, the creative things that we have in our head, and focus. You know what I'm saying? And spending most of our energy and effort in our conversations like that. What are we building? And this is going back, and I went through that because you say sometimes we sit around and we critique, we criticize people. It's because we're not focused on anything else, and so we need somebody else to demean. We need somebody else to talk about. We need to read into a situation wrong to really sedate our own lack of focus. And our responsibility here, when things are tragic that we become aware of, is to just send them good thoughts, send them good, you know what I'm saying, and just get off of it.
Mhm.
That's kind of what I'm feeling, that if anybody wanted to hear how to get less stress within their own mind, is to not focus too much on everything that's going on outside of us, good or bad, that doesn't deal with our creative ability. Spend less time there and see if we can slide to that third quadrant where we're building things.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, man. So I mean, that's pretty much, I didn't want to spend too much time harking
Yeah.
down talking about, the whole situation. I
Hmm.
just wanted to use basically, the outcome of what we seen happen, which I know a lot of us, I ain't gonna say was relieved, because there's nothing relieving about knowing a man has been taken away from his family and somebody that, was good to the community, and, did a lot, made a lot of took a lot of visions out of people's heads, made a lot of charms, pieces, and made a lot of people, what I'm saying, ideas for what they wanted for in jury come to life.
Yeah.
I would call him a pillar in the community. God was great to me. So I'm just, I'm glad his family will get to see some justice behind this and get some closure as to, why.
Wow.
Because I
Yeah.
ultimate question every night when you're trying to
Mhm.
get some sleep. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why would somebody do this? You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I didn't want to harken down, like I say, too much on the event of him being, saying murdered again. I just wanted to basically drop the nugget of the mindset of just, every situation, can be the total opposite of what we think it is. And a lot of times we need to take that same mindset when we go out here in the public, you know what I'm saying? We could look at somebody, you know what I'm saying, and just think that they automatically evil, or got a stern look on their face, or and we don't
Mhm.
speak to them and don't know, that'd be the very one that'll speak back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And somebody could just have something on their mind, be deep in thought, or some people just naturally ugly as fuck and look mean. You know what I'm saying? so so man,
They can't help it,
yeah,
doc.
you never know.
Don't criticize it. They don't.
Right?
That's how they.
Like,
That's the card they was
you know
dealt,
what I'm
my
saying? You
baby.
know, they it is what it is, baby. Shit. So just try to speak. They'll speak back. Hey, I'm running to this sucker again. I ain't gonna speak to him no more.
Right,
You know,
right.
I give everybody. I give everybody a chance, man. Shoot. I'm
They were
big,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, man. No, no, this was good, man. I think I'm glad that we attached it. I mean, like, we're gonna do these so often. I mean, and it's only gonna help those who want help, because ultimately it's like, I think our lack of success or our lack of fulfillment in life is because we got a whole bunch of things that we do wrong or we respond wrong to. And all our whole assignment, as you started off, is to give a better perspective, because some people don't have somebody they can communicate to give them better wisdom or a better way to view a certain situation. And I think the heartbeat of all this was basically, not, you say, not to go over the event, but to send great condolences to their family, but at the same time help us to not be, what I'm saying, critiquing and thinking too prematurely about what's going on as a distraction from our own thing. That's basically it. And that's the lesson. Our ability to want to be better for ourselves and push forward those who are maybe in a season of pain, man. So that was good to me, man. I
Yeah,
like
me
it.
too, man. I've been seeing a lot of our people in the pocket, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people right where we at, man, just want happiness and peace and love. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And just want to, put positive energy out there, man. And a lot of people at that place, man, where they just, they sick and tired of being sick and tired. They want happiness. Like I said, they just want to be in a good place, want to get with people that want to see them win. You know what I'm saying? Want to see people win. I've been, I've been giving a lot more compliments. I've been seeing, guys give a lot more compliments, speaking. So, man, I think, what I'm saying, and I ain't saying it's from our work. I think just people,
Sure. Yeah.
what I'm saying, is just, just
Right.
starting to, I'm saying, get some fulfillment in themselves, and starting to just, let that love pour out, because that's
Yeah.
the thing gonna fight against, what I'm saying, evil, man, is love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We realizing that our old bad negative thoughts, however we got them, aren't the thing that's going to make us fulfilled. It's not profitable. It's not
Right.
some of these things that we've been doing because we were trained, we're imitating our parents, or just life just dealt us a bad hand.
Right.
The negative energy that we have baked in our minds and the behavior that we sometimes, the things that we've done, are not bringing us the joy we thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, like you said, as a whole, that we're all becoming, I hate to use this word, like just woke or aware of these
Right. Oh, that's a
good,
good. That's a
right.
good word,
Yeah,
man.
some people they mess up that word and they
Yeah,
overdo it, but
a lot of us just start to understand, man. This city that made a lot of people hard, man. Both women
yeah,
and men. It's so much stuff that they done came up against and dealt with between having loved ones killed, houses being broken into, being stuck up, women these crazy guys out here trying to rape our sisters, and kids being, what I'm saying, shot and killed, mothers mourning kids, man. I know one of my partners, man, it was 3 brothers, all of them dead. You know what I'm saying? I got a partner, man. It was 3 brothers, all of them dead. So imagine what that mother going through. You know what I'm saying? And they was all my homeboys, but the wrong environment. You know what I'm saying? Standing their ground. Not buying it in the neighborhood, laying demonstrations being laid down on them. But if you don't get out that environment, it's gonna thunder. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's just like, I got a little homie, man. I'm gonna try to get him on here, but he's getting good money. Guys can start trying to rob him. You know what I'm saying? They robbed him a couple times. He got tired of them robbing him. He started putting in work. Then he started paying out and putting, and at some point, man, ain't nobody gonna sit around and be grinding and letting nobody take nothing from them. You gonna do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got wind on who did it. You ain't about to, man. Come on, man. So a lot of this, man, a lot of our young folks, man, they don't be asking for these problems to come their way, but it be guys thinking they sweet and thinking they slick, and you know what I'm saying, thinking they could just get down on them because they ain't walking around here trying to be all tough, and then here come a big problem. You done turned a smooth guy into a straight killer. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta, man, pray for our homies, man. Try to stay in tune. Remember how we was when we was their age. Try to talk to them. A lot of them ain't gonna listen, but a lot of them will.
Right.
And just pushing forward, bro.
Yeah, a lot of people, man, and this is my call to people as well, are just broke. They're hurting. You know what I'm saying? We just in pain. If we're quite honest, and we isolated, right? And so these conversations, and I know God is going to use us and continue to shape our voice and our message to communicate to these people who are looking for alternative ways of how they think and behave, and use them to better themselves. And as we learn to love on each other, bro, like that's what needs to happen. Like we need to, like, all this is not to condescend. All this is to figure out how we can love on each other, build a community of people, and say, hey, we in this together. We can give you this way to think about it. You can give me that way to think about it. And that's bottom line to it for me.
Right. So I hear you. You done went out.
Yeah, no, my camera jumps off every so often. But yeah, man, you can go ahead, close us out, and we can rock out of here, man. This was good.
All right.
Bro.
We'll close this out. All right, man. We thank y'all for tuning in, man. It's been a blessing. Y'all keep us in y'all prayers on our journey. We're gonna keep y'all in our prayers on y'all journeys. Stay putting positivity out here. We're gonna stay trying to keep putting positivity out here. Stay dropping ideas in our comments about things we could talk about. Continue to just engage with us. You know what I'm saying? Keep us lifted up in prayer. And
yes, sir.
It's a wrap, baby.
This we go. It's a wrap.
Cal and Dave Jones are the hosts of the show. We living in some difficult times, as most of us know. Let's lift each other up and put down the stress. If you didn't know, the name of the show